Don't scroll, this message found you for a reason. You weren't supposed to see this by accident. Something powerful is about to be revealed to you, and it begins on October 16th. That date is not ordinary, it's divine timing. Heaven has been silent, watching every move, every hidden plan, and every whispered word spoken behind your back. Someone close to you, a woman you once trusted, smiled at you with affection but carried envy in her heart. She walked beside you, pretending to support you, but deep down, she was planting seeds of confusion, hoping to see your light dim. Yet she forgot one eternal truth: when God chooses to bless someone, no secret plan can stop it. My beloved child, you've been sensing something. That uneasy feeling, those sleepless nights, that sudden pull in your spirit, they were all warnings. You might not have seen the signs clearly, but heaven did. The one you thought was loyal was the very one holding the blade behind your back. She didn't just speak against you, she plotted, she schemed, she waited for your fall. But her plan was never hidden from the eyes of God. Every word she spoke in darkness is now echoing in the chambers of truth. October 16th will be the moment when the mask falls off completely. The person who thought she could hide behind kindness will be exposed by her own words. The very mouth that tried to curse you will reveal itself through trembling lips. You've been through battles that no one saw. You carried pain with silence and smiled when your heart was breaking. Yet, your strength confused your enemies. They couldn't understand how you still stood tall after all the spiritual attacks, the rumors, and the sudden betrayals. But here's the truth: divine protection never left your side. Every tear you cried watered the soil of your upcoming blessings. And now, heaven has scheduled your breakthrough. It begins with revelation. The lies that held you down are losing their power. The fake support that surrounded you is collapsing. The truth is marching forward, and no voice can silence it anymore. On October 16th, a divine spotlight will shine on everything that was hidden. People who once believed her stories will begin to see her true face. You will not need to defend yourself. The universe will speak for you. Screenshots will appear, conversations will leak, memories will resurface. Something unexpected will happen, maybe a sudden confession, maybe an accidental slip, but it will be the moment when everything becomes clear. You will finally understand why certain doors closed and why some people turned cold. It was never rejection. It was protection. Heaven removed those who couldn't go where you are destined to rise. So don't fear what's coming, prepare for it. You are stepping into a phase of divine exposure and restoration. What she meant for harm will turn into your testimony. Every word that was used to destroy you will become a stepping stone for your elevation. The one who laughed at your pain will watch you rise with peace that can't be explained. When October 16th arrives, don't respond with anger, respond with stillness. Because when heaven fights for you, silence becomes your greatest weapon. Her conscience will torment her. The same woman who once wanted your downfall will carry the weight of her own actions. She will see everything she wished for you unfold upon herself. God says, you don't have to fight this battle. I am already ahead of you. The truth doesn't need defending when it's backed by divine timing. Your enemies will reveal themselves without your effort. Your blessings will come without your begging. And your peace will return stronger than ever. This exposure isn't meant to break you, it's meant to free you. So hold your head high. Because when the clock strikes midnight on October 16th, heaven's sword of truth will cut through every lie, every manipulation, and every disguise. You were never forgotten. You were being prepared. And now, the time has come, not for revenge, but for revelation. Watch closely. Because everything that was stolen, hidden, or twisted will soon be brought into light. This is your moment of divine justice. The woman who plotted in secret will finally face what she created. And you will finally walk in peace, favored, protected, and restored. Don't scroll, not yet. Because what's coming next is where everything turns. You've waited long enough for truth to show itself, and now, the universe is aligning the final pieces. October 16th is not just a date, it's the mirror moment, when every hidden action reflects back on the one who caused it. This woman thought she could play God in your story, deciding who you should trust, who should doubt you, and when your light should fade. But she miscalculated one thing: the divine watches quietly, then strikes suddenly. The same lips that whispered lies about you will soon confess them in front of everyone. The same hands that tried to destroy your peace will tremble when the truth unfolds before them. You see, betrayal doesn't come from strangers. It comes from those who sat beside you, who knew your weakness and your heart. She was once that person. She knew your dreams, your fears, and the things you only said in trust. And with that knowledge, she built a weapon, made of jealousy, insecurity, and bitterness. She thought that by tarnishing your name, she could rise higher. But heaven doesn't promote those who tear others down. It was all a setup, not to break you, but to prove who you really are when the world turns away. And while she plotted in shadows, angels stood guard around you, recording every act of deceit. Now, divine reversal is near. That energy she used to bring you down is coming back tenfold, not to harm her, but to awaken her. Because justice from above doesn't just punish, it teaches. And she will learn that betraying a chosen soul carries a heavy price. Her fake laughter will turn into silence. The people she convinced against you will start seeing your truth through her cracks. Slowly, one by one, the illusion she created will shatter. And the woman who wanted to stand above you will find herself face to face with what she feared most, her own reflection. But you, my beloved soul, are not meant to gloat or revenge. You are meant to rise. October 16th marks the divine exchange: sorrow for strength, betrayal for clarity, loss for elevation. You will notice small signs: a message from someone you never expected, a conversation that accidentally reveals a hidden truth, or a sudden peace that fills your heart after months of chaos. That's heaven's way of saying, the battle is over. You won without lifting a hand. The truth itself fought for you. The lies that were meant to destroy your reputation have instead built your testimony. And when that day arrives, you will feel something inside you shift. The weight you've been carrying will suddenly lighten. The confusion, the fear, the self-doubt, they'll begin to fade. Because now, you'll see clearly. Every delay, every rejection, every closed door was divine redirection. You weren't being punished, you were being positioned. God needed the wrong people to leave so the right blessings could arrive without contamination. That woman's betrayal was the last storm before your peace. Let her words fall silent. Let her actions expose themselves. You owe her no explanation, no defense, no confrontation. The energy that once broke you will now rebuild you stronger. And those who believed her lies will come back in quiet apology, realizing too late that they misjudged you. But you won't need their validation, because by then, you'll be walking in peace so powerful, it will speak louder than any proof. Remember this, and remember it well: divine exposure never comes to shame you, it comes to shift you. October 16th is your shift. What she tried to bury will become your foundation. What she tried to destroy will become your strength. And as the night falls on that day, she will finally realize, she never fought you. She fought the hand of God upon your life. Stay calm. Stay grounded. Watch in silence. Because sometimes the loudest victory is the one fought without a word. Don't scroll, because this part will make you feel everything: the pain, the justice, the release. You've walked through fire, through silent tears, through nights when your heart whispered, "Why me?" But heaven was not ignoring you. It was preparing this moment, this October 16th revelation. And when it happens, it won't come quietly. It will come like thunder hidden inside a whisper, shaking the ground beneath every lie that was built against your name. She never thought you'd make it this far. To her, you were a story that ended in silence, a person meant to fade in the background. But God was rewriting your ending while she was still speaking against you. The truth she tried to bury was like a seed: the more she covered it, the deeper it rooted. And now, it's sprouting, unstoppable. You'll notice people she once turned against you beginning to ask questions. Small things will start to feel off in her circle. The same people who once laughed at you will now look at her with doubt. It begins subtly: an uneasy look, a hesitation, a single word that slips from her mouth at the wrong time. Then the unraveling begins. The exposure doesn't always come through chaos. Sometimes it comes through divine timing, through a moment she can't explain, through messages she can't hide, through a mirror she can no longer avoid. Maybe someone finds out what she said. Maybe her own guilt starts to spill through her voice when she speaks. The mask that once looked perfect begins to crack. People start remembering things differently, realizing how her stories never added up. And then, truth stands tall, without your effort. Because when God decides to reveal, no hand can cover what's written in light. And you, the one she tried to destroy, will stand in stillness, watching everything she built with deceit crumble like dust. You won't even feel anger anymore. There'll be peace instead. That's the beauty of divine justice: it doesn't just expose the guilty, it restores the wounded. While she faces her reflection, you'll finally face your destiny. October 16th is not about punishment, it's about release. It's the day you walk free from the web of betrayal, the day the truth walks beside you like armor. Everything that was said behind your back becomes powerless. Every lie loses its venom. You'll feel a strange calm in your spirit, like a door closing softly behind you. That's heaven's way of saying, it's done. The storm has finished its purpose. And as her exposure unfolds, something deeper happens. The people who doubted you begin to remember your kindness. They'll recall the moments you stayed silent instead of fighting back. They'll realize that your silence was never weakness, it was wisdom. You chose peace when you could have chosen revenge. And because of that, your victory will carry grace. You'll rise without bitterness, shine without noise, and heal without scars. She, however, will watch. Not because you wish her pain, but because truth has a way of returning to its source. She'll finally understand what envy costs, how heavy it is to carry deceit. She'll learn that pretending to be kind while wishing harm brings its own collapse. The one who used to smile with false love will look into her reflection and see the emptiness behind it. That's not your revenge, that's her awakening. Don't scroll yet, this is where everything begins to make sense. You've seen the storm, you've felt the betrayal, and you've watched the mask fall. But now, after October 16th, comes the shift that heaven promised. The exposure was never meant to embarrass you. It was meant to free you. You see, when truth rises, so does destiny. The pain that once made you question your worth is turning into the very power that will push you into your purpose. The same people who once ignored you will start watching silently, wondering how you found peace after everything that was done to you. But what they don't know is that peace didn't just find you, you earned it through every tear, every prayer, every lonely night when you chose faith over revenge. That woman, the one who planned against you, has now been left facing the weight of her own actions. The friends she once used to gossip with have gone quiet. The ones she tried to turn against you are now realizing who the real light was all along, you. She will replay her choices in her mind, wondering how everything shifted so fast. And the answer is simple: truth doesn't knock, it enters. Divine timing never announces itself, it simply arrives when the soul can handle what's next. That's what October 16th was about, not a punishment, but a release. Heaven needed you to see who truly walked with you and who only walked near you. And now, something powerful begins to happen inside you. The heaviness you once carried begins to lift. You start sleeping deeper. Your energy feels lighter. The voices of doubt fade into silence. You begin to smile, not because everything's perfect, but because your spirit finally feels safe. That's how divine healing feels: quiet, sacred, undeniable. It's the moment when you realize that you didn't lose people, you lost illusions. The betrayal didn't break you, it revealed what was fake so that what's real could find its way in. In the days following October 16th, watch closely. Signs will begin to appear, unexpected messages, sudden opportunities, people you haven't heard from in months reaching out with clarity and apology. These aren't coincidences, they're confirmations. The same God who allowed exposure is now orchestrating restoration. Every tear you cried was counted. Every moment you felt forgotten was seen. You were not being abandoned, you were being prepared for a level where the false could not survive. You'll notice that even your surroundings begin to change. The energy around you grows lighter. New connections appear, pure souls who bring peace instead of drama. You'll find yourself laughing again, genuinely. You'll wake up one morning and realize, the pain that once consumed you has turned into wisdom. You'll thank God, not for the betrayal, but for what it taught you about loyalty, strength, and divine protection. And that woman, the one who once smiled in your face and plotted behind your back, will begin to see what real favor looks like. She'll hear your name being spoken in rooms she can't enter anymore. She'll see your success rising silently while her own noise fades away. Not because you wished her harm, but because heaven restores balance in ways the human heart can't understand. Every lie she spoke will now serve as evidence of your truth. Every attempt to destroy you has become the foundation of your victory. But remember, my beloved soul, this isn't your moment to gloat. It's your moment to grow. When people see your light, let them see forgiveness in it. Because that's what makes divine justice different from human justice. It transforms pain into peace instead of turning it into pride. You are not the same person who was betrayed. You are stronger, wiser, softer, and deeper. Your heart no longer beats for validation, it beats for purpose. October 16th marked the end of deception, but it also marked the beginning of restoration. You're entering a season where peace will guard your heart, clarity will guide your path, and blessings will overflow where pain once lived. You will no longer chase explanations, the truth has already spoken for you. You will no longer beg for love, the right souls will recognize your worth without being told. You will no longer live in fear, because you've already seen what divine protection looks like in action. So, walk with your head high. You have survived what was meant to break you. And because you stood in faith while others whispered against you, heaven is releasing double for your trouble. The same date that once carried pain will now carry power. Every October 16th that comes will be a reminder, not of what you lost, but of what was revealed. This is your divine transformation. This is your rise from silence. And as you move forward, remember, she didn't expose you, she exposed herself. And in doing so, she confirmed exactly who you were all along, chosen, protected, and destined for light. Don't scroll, because this is the part your soul has been waiting for. Everything that has happened until now, the betrayal, the heartbreak, the exposure, was never meant to end in pain. It was leading you here, to this sacred place of divine restoration. You've been through the storm, you've walked through the shadows, and still, you kept your heart pure. You didn't let bitterness win. You didn't let anger rewrite your soul. And that, my beloved, is exactly why heaven is about to reward you in ways you never imagined. October 16th didn't just expose her, it unlocked something inside you. For so long, you were living beneath your light, shrinking yourself to fit into spaces that couldn't handle your truth. But now, the veil has lifted. You are finally seeing what God saw in you all along, strength disguised as gentleness, courage hidden behind silence, faith that refused to die. You were never weak for trusting, you were strong for loving despite the risk. And now that the false has fallen away, the real can rise. The woman who planned against you has vanished into the noise she created. Her world feels heavy now, not because you wished her harm, but because deceit always collapses under its own weight. She may try to pretend she's fine, but deep down, she knows the truth. The one she tried to destroy has become untouchable. Her words can no longer reach you. Her energy can no longer bind you. She has become a shadow in the story you've already outgrown. And you, my child, are walking into light so radiant that even your past cannot follow. In the days that follow this revelation, life begins to unfold in mysterious ways. You'll wake up one morning with an unexpected message, an opportunity that feels divine, a door that suddenly opens without effort. You'll meet people who feel familiar, souls that seem like they've been waiting for you. This is not coincidence. It's restoration. Heaven is returning everything that was delayed, multiplied. The years that felt wasted will suddenly make sense. You'll understand why certain prayers took time, because God was aligning every piece of your destiny while you were learning how to protect your peace. There will be moments when you'll look back and realize, the things you cried over were the very things that redirected you toward your purpose. You'll remember how lonely you felt, and smile, because now you understand that solitude was sacred preparation. You'll think about how much you wanted to be understood, and then see that the misunderstanding built your discernment. Nothing was wasted. Not one tear, not one heartbreak, not one unanswered question. It was all divine design. And now, as your spirit rises, your glow becomes undeniable. People who once doubted you will begin to feel drawn to your peace. The ones who laughed will now watch in silence as your life blossoms without apology. You'll carry a calm that intimidates chaos. You'll speak words that heal instead of hurt. That's the real power of transformation, not revenge, but radiance. The kind of light that can't be faked, because it was earned through darkness. October 16th was heaven's declaration that your waiting season is over. You're no longer in survival mode, you're in manifestation mode. Every prayer, every act of kindness, every night you chose hope over hatred, they've been collected, multiplied, and are now returning to you. The woman who plotted against you has faded from your path, because your frequency has risen too high for her to reach. You've leveled up spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. And no amount of envy can bring you down again. But here's the most powerful truth: your story doesn't end with her downfall, it begins with your rise. The purpose of exposure was not destruction, but elevation. You were meant to see who was against you so you could recognize who truly stands with you. You were meant to experience betrayal so that you could embody forgiveness. You were meant to lose temporary connections so that eternal blessings could find you. That's how divine justice works, it replaces loss with legacy. In the coming days, expect breakthroughs. Expect peace that doesn't make sense. Expect favor that feels effortless. You'll find yourself at the right place, at the right time, with the right people, because destiny is now leading your steps. The things that once felt delayed will come rushing in. Opportunities will align faster than you can explain. And in your quiet moments, you'll feel that whisper again, see? I told you I was with you all along. And when that happens, don't forget to be grateful. Because gratitude keeps your blessings flowing. Forgiveness keeps your heart light. And faith keeps your future open. You don't need to look back anymore. You don't need to fear being betrayed again. The lesson has been learned, the karma has been cleared, and the cycle has ended. Walk forward like the chosen one you are. Because from this moment on, the world will see you differently, not as the person who was hurt, but as the soul who healed and rose higher. You are now the example of divine justice fulfilled. Your story will inspire others to keep believing, to keep forgiving, and to keep trusting the timing of their own lives. So, take a deep breath. Smile softly. And whisper to your heart, "It's done." Because it truly is. The woman who secretly planned against you has written her own ending, and you are stepping into a chapter where blessings chase you down. Where peace greets you in the morning. Where love surrounds you without question. This is your divine reward. The battle is over. The truth has spoken. And your rise has just begun. Don't scroll, because this is the ending your heart deserves. The lies are gone, the truth has spoken, and peace has returned. The woman who secretly planned against you has been exposed, not by your hands, but by divine justice. October 16th became the day everything shifted. You didn't lose anything, you were protected. You didn't fail, you were redirected. Now, your silence is your strength. Your peace is your proof. The same storm that tried to drown you has washed away everything fake. And what remains is pure, strong, unshakable, you. The chapter of betrayal is closed. The season of blessings begins. Breathe, it's finally over.